Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group net, or the weekly AREG net, um, for this Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. This is week 1569 for the AREG, and my name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And so, since this is a Simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So we also stream the net on YouTube, so people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio, and they can also hear how their audio sounds on the air and see their signal strength, as well as see my station layout. Just type in my call into the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and look for us live, or tonight under the title AREG Week 1569. Finally, we ask that you please try and leave a 1 to 2 second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. Are there any time sensitive or mobile stations? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Any check-ins? Anyone? Anywhere? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3 Zulu Juliet Charlie.
All right, I got 3 stations there, and the first 2 were a great smash up. I could not tell who it was. Can you try again, please?
It was me, Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey.
And me, Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima.
Lady.
Okay, very good. I thought I heard a sweet sounding voice of Debbie that was just squeaking in there during that smash up. And so Sir Galahad has offered to give up his spot to Debbie tonight. So let's bring in VA3 OYL. Deb, come on in.
Oh, I'm so lucky. All is good here. I had the radio off for a couple of days. I got fed up. I was chasing Poda, chasing Pierre around and Mac, and I just couldn't get into the pile-ups or wait till the end of the pile-ups, so I got fed up and turned the radio off and left it off for a couple of days.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing the same thing there. As far as the radio is concerned, I've been too busy doing other things, getting the our backyard, ready for the colder temperatures. We had a couple of tents to take down and things like that. And so that was more important than the radio. So haven't had too many contacts there, but I did notice 10 meters was kind of opening up last few days. So that's good.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for the leaves to fall off the trees, and then I want to try and put my dipole up higher. But it's a little easier to see where I'm aiming yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. My weight, put it that way. Arborist weight, thank you. And yeah, I've been doing, oh, the phone's ringing. Oh, well, they'll have to wait. I've been doing backyard things as well, getting things ready, but I've been doing a little bit here and there because I don't want to overdo it with my back.
Oh, I got you there. I've been doing some pruning over here lately, and my back has been a little bit sore. Using muscles I don't normally use, although, you hear me say I've got back pain and that, but this is the muscles in the back from sitting in a certain position for long periods. I'm not used to it. And so I have to get my certain muscles that you don't use often, a little workout there. So, yeah, when you have enough, you just say, okay, I'm taking a break and get back at it later. So, very good then. I'm starting to notice the colors are changing. So, it won't be long before the leaves start blowing off our trees once they start changing color there. And sometimes you get a big gust of wind and half the tree goes on the ground. So, we'll have to see and wait and see how windy it's going to be.
Yeah, I did the first raking of the front yard today, so I was happy to have that done. Okay, I'll let you carry on down to Mac, and I'll be listening along. I have to feed a hungry kitty. She's meowing at me here.
I sometimes I go on Instagram there, and I really like watching the videos of the pets. Anything from birds, cats, dogs, cows, you name it, geese. It's so nice to see, people interacting with animals. Anyways, thank you very much, there, Deb, and we'll talk to you next round. And so let's go to Mac, VA3IMW. Come on in, Mac.
And MQ.
And MQ. You're in the log also.
And good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on frequency, especially to Deb. She reminded me to thank everybody who supported me in my activities on Saturday. Sorry, Deb. Unfortunately, because I was on a rove, I wasn't able to stick around at all those parks and work everybody. I managed to get 16 parks under my belt in one day, which gives me a Cheetah Award on POTA. And, you want to get the park activated, so minimum 10. Usually you stick around for 12, maybe a few more. In most cases, I had 14 to 18 contacts at each park. So if I've missed anybody in the interim, my sincerest apologies. And I certainly appreciate everybody who followed me around on Saturday and helped me achieve the Cheetah Award. Anyways, I kind of snickered there a little bit, Chuck, when you mentioned online videos with people interacting with animals, and I think the 12-year-old came out of me just for a second, but we won't mention that. Whatever happens online stays online, I guess. Other than that, goodness gracious, busy day today. A quick trip down to Michigan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Had to do a machine review and sign off on some equipment that is being shipped up to Guelph by the end of the week, so that it's another piece of the puzzle for our big project that we're working on. So that was, I got in and out of the States unscathed. Other than that, I think that's it for now. I'll be around for the duration, and once again, Debbie, thanks for the check-ins where you did manage to get in my logs, and for everybody else who supported me on Saturday. Back to you, Chuck.
Yeah, very good there, Mac. Congratulations from me. I did listen in a little bit during the weekend there. I was only able to participate just a couple of calls there, and great job. I see 2,500. I just got my 500 on the weekend, and so you got your 2,500. So congratulations for that, as well as who else was out there? Vanya was out. I think Pierre was out, and a couple of other people we might hear coming up. Maybe Jason next there. We'll hear from him. So, okay, Mac, very good. Glad to see you made the trip there and back lickety split quick, and glad to have you aboard, sir. We'll get back to you next round. Anything else?
All good for now, Chuck. Keep on keeping on. Excellent job so far.
All right, very good. So let's clear with VA3IMW and say hello to Jason, VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie.
Good evening, Chuck, Deb, Mac, and everybody and anybody else who comes in behind me. no real traffic for today. Just work from home day. The missus was at the office, and that paid dividends for her because she is now at the Leaf game tonight for the home opener. So go Leafs, go! I'm a big Leaf fan, so I'm torn: radio or watch my Leafs play the Habs. Other than that, nothing really happening here. I haven't made any real progress on the doublet going up in the backyard. It's hung. I've got way too much ladder line. I got to trim that back and build a 4-to-1 and then for it to balance this out to get it back into the shack. And hopefully the new angle and the new antenna will get me some better POTA hunting from the house. And as for hitting a park, I would love to be out there in the parks on the weekends. I just have something that's keeping me really close to home for the time being. Hopefully that'll go by the wayside and I can get my butt out there and activate again. Back to you, Chuck.
Okay, very good then. So still not enough time in the day, I guess. It's one of those situations where you've got things on the go, but you can't complete all your tasks. So good luck with trimming back your antenna and getting it all dialed in. Do you have a nano VNA or anything like that?
Yes, sir. I'm almost staring at it right now. I got that, and I got a couple of toroid cores in the basement. These ones are a little larger than what I want, so I'm probably going to place an order for some smaller ones that'll fit nicer in a box to do a side-by-side 4-to-1. But yeah, no, I got all the toys and the tools here to get this guy tuned up properly. It's just finding the time. Work doesn't want me out on a ladder in the backyard when I'm supposed to be in meetings. So yeah, it is what it is. I'll eventually get to it.
Okay, very good then, Jason. All right, I did notice you turned down your audio a little bit there because yeah, you were just blasting on Chris's net there. So, okay, Jason, we'll get back to you next round. Let's go and say hello to Tom, VE3MQ. Come on in, Tom.
Good evening to everybody. Yeah, did a little bit of antenna work yesterday. I ended up with a dipole horizontal in the yard, so that worked out good. I got it off of Flint. I don't know where he got it from, but boy, oh boy, that thing sure was not built for SWR. I actually have to put it on a box just to get the goddamn thing to tune on a frequency. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. That's sort of like when I first put up my G5 RV. I could not get it resonant anywhere. And then after it came crashing down earlier this spring, and I got it put back up, it's resonant now. So yeah, sometimes just a little movement, also a little change will change all the characteristics.
Yeah, well, that's it exactly. I'm surprised with the G5 RV because that's the first antenna that I tried when I got into the hobby, and I had no issues setting that one up. Lots of contacts on it. This one here needs a little bit of work. I don't know if the 1-to-1's too close to the tower or not, but the rope is not the best, so I have to replace that. Weather station's up now. I have my Diamond X50 one up higher. Plus, I got off of Flint. I think it's a tram. There's no markings on it. And somebody's made a homemade J-pole out of stainless steel. I got that off them plus coax. But I need somebody to come to my house and climb a 30-foot tower, which really it's not 30 feet when you get up to the peak of my house, to put up an Antron 99 for 12 meters.
Oh yeah. And climbers nowadays are far and few between, kind of like radio repair shops in the area there. Good luck finding a climber. I was lucky to get somebody to help me out because I have back and leg issues now. And yeah, I have mine on a pulley. And just for everyone else listening, If you're going to use rope year round to hold your antennas up, I would recommend getting Dacron rope. It is that or the tar rope there. What do they call it? Number 36 tarred line. That's good stuff also. But I spent like $35 getting a roll of Dacron rope there. Man, it's good rope there, Tom.
Oh yeah, I've got that stuff all over the place. That's all I ever use. But this one here has been up there, believe it or not, since 2008, and it's just starting to fray now from all the goddamn squirrels around the area. But I'll get that fixed. But yeah, like I said, I just need somebody to come and do a 30-foot tower, and that'll be the end of radio stuff. And if anybody's interested, all kinds of Japan, Indonesia, all of that is on 10 meters, rocking and rolling.
All right, good to hear. Good to hear. I'll have to make sure and pick the right times there when the bands seem to open up, and certain times of the day more than others. So I find early mornings and in the evenings does pretty good. So, but you never know. Sometimes during the day you get conditions, and yeah. Oh, there's a 10-10 contest I do believe coming up, but I think it's only for CW.
Yeah, that one's for CW, exactly. Plus, I've been looking, I think I'm going to build a little repeater out of a couple of Bofang radios I got sitting here.
Yeah.
And one of the radios I can hook up to, what is that called? Zulu? You can put it on your phone and activate it from your phone too. But I'll let everybody else continue. And there's a Parks on the air if anybody wants to know. 28457 Kilo Lima 2 Whiskey X-Ray. It's Alaska 73, and I will not be around, Chuck.
Zello.
Yeah, Zello, that's it. But there's a Parks on the air on 10 meters right now.
Oh, very good, very good. I got Utah, the state of Utah, last week on 10 meters. Was it 10 or 15? And I needed that state as well. So that was a Parks on the air on 10 meters. I don't have too many of those. And I think I heard another voice in there. Chris, VE3RWJ. Just stand by. And Tom, do you have anything else for us?
No, that's it. 73.
Okay, Tom, thanks for checking in. Much appreciated, sir. And all the info you threw our way. Let's say hello to VE3RWJ. Chris, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck. Geez, I can't get away with anything, can I? Yeah, I wanted to just say, I think the app you mentioned is Zello.
Yeah.
Sort of made famous by the Trucker Convoy. It's a walkie-talkie app for your phone, but I guess it can link to other things too. Anyway, nothing going on here. Had a good net over on the Burlington repeater, and just reading a book. Thanks for doing this, Net. We're going to listen for a while. Unfortunately, this time of year, my local noise on 2 meters starts earlier, so I do have a little noise on everybody. So I really appreciate the YouTube stream because it gives me a backup. Anyone I can't hear on the air, I can usually hear on the stream. Back to you, Chuck, V3RWJ.
Okay, very good, Chris. And you did catch that. I tried to check in on the 2 meter side by accident or by memory reflex, maybe, because that's the radio I normally use for checking into your net up until it switched over to just UHF there. So I didn't know if anyone was listening or if you even went through. So very good. Thanks for doing that, Net. It's always informative, and I get to hear a lot of people I don't normally hear on this frequency. So anyways, thanks again, Chris, and I'm glad the YouTube stream is working, and the sound quality, everything sounds good.
Oh yeah, sounding great. I sound okay on it, and you sound really good on it. Everyone does. Whoops. think there was someone else in there. Anyway, I'll let you get back to it, and don't worry about picking up the wrong mic or stuff like that. I do that stuff regularly. The number of times I've said something that probably sounded really bizarre on a repeater, meaning to pick up another mic and send it somewhere else, is pretty high. I've done it a lot.
Yeah, it happens. All right, Chris, by the way, good signal. You're an S9 Plus on my Yaesu 857. That's about 1 bar above 9, S9, so good job. And we'll let you get back to listening to the stream. I do appreciate your check-in, Chris, as always. So you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll be listening for you to give us little bits of information about things happening like the solar eclipse and the ISS station. I know you you follow that every once in a while, and then you let us know too. So thank you for that. Okay, so we'll clear with VE3 RWJ. And before I take any other check-ins, I would like to acknowledge our YouTube folks who have checked in. I'd like to say hello to North End Richard, VA3VJC. Good evening, sir. Sorry that your rig is in the shop, as you said. And we appreciate you jumping in on YouTube here. And your van, too, yeah. Okay. Let me know how that's coming along. And good evening to Michael from Arkansas. Kilo India 5, Sierra Papa Alpha. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining us, as well as Wayne B, VA3, Fox Mike Bravo. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Anyone else listening, it's a great way to see how you sound and your signal strength, as well as hear yourself. Okay, so with that, let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in to the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. AREG, please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
VE3CEU. Tomas, good evening, sir. How are things with you? Come on in.
VA3CJZ, VE3CU. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else that can hear me. I'm using my handy talkie tonight. This week I'm on holiday, so getting lots of time in for my hobbies and my computers and radios and programming and all that stuff. And yeah, especially stuff around the house.
Yes, sir. I hear you, Thomas. I was just saying earlier, we're doing yard work. We just actually cut our lawn again, took down a couple of tents and so on. And we do a little bit at a time. And then, when the time comes and we're not scrambling to put stuff away.
Yeah, my wife's got the garden all done, all dug up, and all the fences and all that stuff. Put that all away. And I got quite a few tomatoes and peppers and all that good stuff. And yeah, got to freeze some of the stuff. And not much else new at this end, Chuck. I'm just listening along on this handy talkie. I'm getting it full scale here.
Okay, Thomas, you're anywhere between S9 Plus to S8 on your handy talkie there. So good job. The 2 meter always seems to work best. So from where you are there, that's awesome. Little jump across the pond, and you made it in here. And again, like I mentioned, for those people who can't hear, others that are on walkie-talkies and such, or handhelds, I mean, pardon me, and just go to YouTube, put in VA3CJZ, and you can find us there live this evening and listen along. So, okay, Thomas, well, thank you. Everything's going well otherwise?
Yep, everything's doing good. Everybody's in good health, and just doing day by day. So, all right, I'll be listening along there, Chuck, and thanks for doing it. And I'll hopefully get quite a few more check-ins there. VE3CJZ, VE3CU. We will be listening.
Okay, very good. Thanks for checking in, Thomas. Much appreciated. So we'll clear with VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. And sadly, Richard is taking off. Way too much noise and distractions here. Okay. Thanks for checking in, Richard. Much appreciated. And with that, let's see if anyone else is out there who'd like to check into our weekly amateur radio exchange group net. This is VA3CJZ. Looking for check-ins. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Must be a great evening for taking a late night walk, or sorry, early evening walk, just because it's dark at like 6:45 now, I think it is. The sunset was officially around 6:43 or 45, somewhere around there. Anyways, let's go to the contestcalendar.com website. And here we are. There are a bunch of contests on this coming weekend. And let's start off with the Nevada QSO party. And that will be for CW, sideband, and digital, including FT8. And the bands are UHF, VHF, and then 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160 meter. So quite the wide variety for bands. So that's the Nevada QSO party. Starts at 0300 Zulu October 14 to 2100 Zulu October 15. Next, there's a Oceana DX contest, and that's for CW. That is 0600 Zulu October 14th to 0600 Zulu October 15th. By the way, this Friday is Friday the 13th, so pack up your gear and head down to Port Dover. Okay, next we've got a Scandinavian activity contest, and that is for sideband. Geographic focus is for Scandinavia, but participation is worldwide. Again, single sideband for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And that runs for 24 hours from 1200 Zulu October 14th to 1200 Zulu October 15th. Oh, yes, and then we have the Solar Eclipse QSO party, starting 1200 Zulu to 2200 Zulu October 14th. And that is for CW, phone, and digital, starting at 6 meter up to 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160 meter. Again, CW, phone, and digital, the Solar Eclipse QSO party. And next, we've got the Arizona QSO party, 1500 Zulu October 14th to 0500 Zulu October 15th. And that's for phone and CW, 10 meter, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And then we have Pennsylvania QSO party, and that starts 1600 Zulu October 14th to 0400 Zulu October 15th, and then starts up again at 1300 Zulu to 2200 Zulu October 15th. There's a gap in between those two. Next, South Dakota has a QSO party, and that's 1800 Zulu October 14th to 1800 Zulu October 15th. And that one has, for CW and phone, starts at 2 meter, this one, and then 6 meter, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And then the next one of note is the Argentina National, it says 7 megahertz contest. And that's 21:30 Zulu to 23:30 Zulu, so 2 hours long. And that is for South America. So that's for sideband, 40 meters only. So look for them during that time period. And that, I think that wraps it up. Where are we? Yeah, everything else is for like an hour or so. Real tiny, tiny contests. Oh, let's not forget Run for the Bacon because Debbie is here. Run for the Bacon is for CW 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. 2300 Zulu, October 16th to 0100 Zulu, October 17th. Now, the last one here is the ARRL School Roundup, and I believe that lasts for about a week or 4 days here, it says. October 16th to October 20th. And that's for CW, phone, RTTY, and digital. Starts with 12 meters, 17 meter, 30 meter. Oh, no, sorry. It's all bands except the ones I just mentioned. All bands except 60, 30, 17, and 12. I'll get it. So again, the ARRL School Club Roundup. That goes on for about 4 days. Always like helping the kids out when I hear those voices. Okay, that's a wrap for the contests upcoming. And so for any more information on any of the contests you've just heard, please go to contestcalendar.com. And with that, let's see if we have any other check-ins for this evening's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm looking for your check-ins. All right, nothing heard. Going to be a short net, I think. Let's go back up to the top of the list then and say hello to VA3IMW. Mac, are you still around?
I am still around, except the top of the list should be Deb, VA3OYL, because ladies go first.
Oh, my mistake, my bad. I was just reading from the list. I completely forgot Sir Galahad was number 1. So let's see if Deb is there or went out for a walk.
I am here. I was smart and took the dog for a walk just before the net. Hopefully, he won't have to get up in the middle of the night. That would be nice.
Yes. Our dog went through that and took us a while to get him to stop doing that at 4 and 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Our dog doesn't do it unless, he likes a routine. So go out at the same time every night or every day. But if he gets stressed and has to go, then he throws up in his crate. So I know, get him outside quick.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's like our dog there when we had our house fire. The neighbors across the street took him in, and when I finally took him out of there, it was several weeks he was there. So when we got him, I know he wasn't being fed what we gave him, and so he was having accidents. He would try to tell us he has to go out, but it's a long haul from your hotel room down the hall to the elevator, down to the main floor, and then outside. And a couple of times he had an accident. And of course, we don't have those cleaning supplies in our room. And I had to tell the front desk. And let me tell you, the neighbors are not happy either.
Yeah. The Muffin Man, our previous dog, we had to have a belly band on him at the end because he just didn't know enough to to want to go outside because he was so old and blind and deaf and couldn't move
geez.
very well. So the belly band saved my butt a lot of times from having to do a big cleanup.
Yeah. The diapers. It's called a belly band. I didn't know that.
Well, for a male, it's just a band that goes around, covers his little wee wee to be nice about it. And then I guess it's a diaper for a female dog.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get away with a diaper for both, depending how large of a breed you got there. But I think the depends would work.
Depends.
It depends.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think I have quite a few years to go before that happens with this dog. He's young and rambunctious and pretty healthy. Well, he's healthy, so no worries there.
All right, glad to hear, Deb. I do think there's people trying to check in there. I know there was a comment. Who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the AREG net? Please come now.
V3KKP.
Okay, VE3KKP, you're in the log. Is there Mac is up next there, but we'll take you in, Kevin. What's new and exciting?
Not too much. I'll give you a quick bean right now. Let's turn it over to Mac, and I'll be back. V3KKP.
Okay, go chase down those parks. Is there anyone else out there wishing to check in with us with the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. Okay, so let's send it up to VA3IMW.
That's me, Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey. I'm sure people get tired of hearing that too. Yeah, well, it's a new form of poetry. Anyways, Chuck, congratulations on topping out at 500 new unique parks. Somehow, I gotta say, don't really look forward to topping out above 1,000, because then you're only patted on the back every 500 parks, and as the parks you have in your hunter log increase, there's less new parks, so those milestones get further and further apart, kind of exponentially.
Oh, okay. So that's what I have to look forward to. Well, there you go. I've got 500 more to go, and then it'll be a slow climb. Okay, listen, I haven't really spoken to you about France, really, since you've been back. I did note a lot of the things that you mentioned that were not liked. So tell me, what did you like there? Generally speaking, was there anything that stood out that you thought, oh, gee, that's nice?
Yeah. For any of you who are on Facebook, you probably saw pictures I posted. So on European Heritage Weekend, we visited one of the castles in the region. I think it's called Chateau Pierrefonds. And because it was the Heritage Weekend, it was free entrance. But as well, they had opened up an additional area of the chateau that was used during the Second World War, and there was markings on the walls that were reflective of the armed forces personnel that used that area for shelter. And some of the photographs that might have been posted there, you could also see the evidence of the German shelling of the walls of that chateau. In addition, the following weekend, myself and one of my other workmates, we took a road trip up to Dunkirk, which is directly north of the area that we were staying in. It's up on the English coast. Dunkirk is well renowned as a jumping off point. So it was the evacuation of the English troops when they had to get out of France because they were being overrun by the Germans. So it was there's a museum there and quite a touching display of all the things they went through during those days. And following that visit, we also took a trip into Belgium and visited the two cemeteries that are well renowned for, the what do they call it? The oh goodness gracious, I'm going to draw a blank here. Anyways, the American and Canadian cemeteries for what's that? The famous poem. I'm going to kick myself in the butt here, but also posted pictures of that. And the latter of the two, when we stepped in there, was getting late in the afternoon. They were just about ready to close up, and we stepped into the gardens, and they started playing taps, and it was like chills running down your spine. Anyways, Flanders Fields. That's it, Flanders Fields in Belgium. So it was excellent. I can't say too much about the food because I don't really appreciate the French style of cooking. My best meals over there while I was there was actually at Indian restaurants. So thankfully they had a good influx of other cuisines that I was able to enjoy. And I think that's about it. I didn't time out the repeater, but I might have timed out some people's ears.
I was hoping you wouldn't figure out Flanders Field and I would tell you. But okay, very good. I forgot that was in Belgium. Very nice. Paying homage to the soldiers that never made it home. One place that I wouldn't mind seeing, other than, like the Champs-Élysées, but I'd love to see the palace at Versailles, the Louis XIV, I think, the really opulent palace.
Yeah, I guess that, for some people that holds a lot of interest. I think going to Chateau Pierrefonds, it was more historic because it was actually a castle that was originally constructed by Napoleon the First, and it was later on deconstructed. I guess there was friction among leaders, but the Napoleon the Third had it reconstructed in its current location. So there was the history there, but also obviously the additional history around the Second World War, where veterans from the Allies were coming in and bunking down in the lower regions of the castle. So there's also some other chateaus I was encouraged to go and visit. I was kind of glad that we did bother. The more frequented tourist regions are becoming more well known for petty theft and crimes. One of our Ford people, he flew his wife over for a vacation, and while she was out touring around, he was still with us for the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of that second week. But She was touring one of the chateaus, and the SUV that they had rented for her to use, she came back to the parking lot and had the back window smashed in. So, yeah, I definitely have a very dim view of security and safety in France. They seem to have a lot of areas that are just overrun with people that are, I guess, somewhat desperate. My boss, when he was over there, he had been there for 3 weeks and then flew his wife over for a brief vacation. He and his wife were mugged on a train between Charles de Gaulle Airport and their hotel in Paris. So when he went to the police station in Paris to report the crime, they said, "Oh yeah, that's a very bad area," and it's disgraceful. You're going to a country that's supposedly a tourist destination, and the police force there knows there's areas which are a problem. There's no camera systems. There's no police enforcement on these trains, and they know that people coming into their country are at risk. And I think that's absolutely deplorable that they do nothing about it. And after the fact, they say, "Oh, sorry, terribly sorry about that. That's a bad area." That just despicable. Anyways, enough out of me. I would like to remain on a positive note. The biggest positive, I would say, is flying back home. Glad to be back on this side of the pond.
All right. Well, welcome back home. Then I get a visual. I get a picture. I also read the news, and I know where you're coming from. I don't want to say anything to offend anyone either, so I won't. But there's obviously problems in many parts of Europe uh, and all over the world. Really, people are leaving their countries and then uh, going into others. So pretty soon we'll have empty countries. uh, but anyways, very good then, Mac. Well, thanks for sharing that. Much appreciated. French cuisine, not so. And I'm glad you picked some nice spots to go visit. All right. Well, thank you, Mac. And with that, before we move on, let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly amateur radio exchange group. This is VA3CJZ. Okay, nothing heard. So Jason is on a phone call. Tom is one and done. Richard, Michael, and Wayne are both. I wonder how. Speaking of Wayne, Wade. Has anybody heard from Wade since his departure to Chicago?
He activated a 3 for park in that region, and we got him on HF.
Oh yeah, when?
I believe that was on Sunday afternoon.
No, okay, very good. I might have even heard him. Okay, yeah, I was just wondering if anybody has heard from Wade, and so very good then. All right. Well, so we'll do another call out, and after that, I guess we'll start the on this day in history.
Alpha 3, Charlie, Romeo, Foxtrot, Chuck, Vern here, out for a stroll in Watertown.
Well, good evening there, Vern. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie, Romeo, Foxtrot. I wasn't looking at the meter there, but you're coming in here full quieting at my location by the Center Mall in East Hamilton. How's it going there, Vern?
Not too bad, Chuck. It's a little cool. I don't know what it is out now, maybe 9 or 10, but it's a nice evening. I brought the umbrella. Because I brought it, you know that it won't rain. I left it at the house, it would. Just been listening along. Kind of sad to hear about Mac's experience in France. That's too bad. That can definitely sour you on ever thinking of going back. Back to you, Chuck.
Yeah. Well, I think the one positive side to that is that it wasn't a paid a vacation he had to pay for. It was a work trip. So I could just imagine him coming home after spending large sums of money to go to France and be disappointed. So on that note, it's a positive he didn't have to, plan and pay for a vacation.
Yeah, at least he wasn't out of pocket for it. I was in France in 2017 and quite enjoyed it. Now, granted, I only went to Paris. I didn't really go anywhere else. But yeah, I mean, definitely there are lots of places where you want to be careful in Europe. I remember once we were in Athens and we were gone to Greece and Spain for a couple of weeks. We were heading We walked through a section of Athens that was downright scary. There were guys lying on the beach that we were heading to our laundry.
I don't know what happened there, Vern. We kind of lost you. Okay, can anyone relay?
I think he's headed back to another spot where he's going to get you better.
Okay. He started off strong, S8, and then dropped right down into the mud, and I lost him completely. So let's see if Vern is picking me up a little bit better now. It usually helps when someone is talking. That way you can tell where the good spot is. So let's go back to VA3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot.
Can you copy me now, Chuck?
Oh yeah, S8, S9, very good.
All right, I'm on a grassy knoll. Don't read anything into that here in the Memorial Park, so hopefully you can copy me better. I was saying that we know that there are definitely some sketchy areas in Europe. Once on a trip that we visited Spain and Greece, we were in Athens and we're going to do some laundry, and we walked through a part of town that was downright scary to get to our laundromat. There were guys lying in the street shooting up on the road we were walking on.
Yeah, that's scary. Well, at least they weren't shooting bullets at you. Yeah, I know. What was it? Eve from Burlington there, VA3YVE, just came back from Europe, and he said, had he stayed in Israel 2 days longer, he would have been involved in that massacre. So thank goodness he made it home in time.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad that he missed that. That's horrifying. And that's one thing you never know about the Middle East. It's a powder keg. And all of those countries are armed to the teeth, and none of them like Israel.
Yeah, I was telling the wife the other day when I do on this day in history, I find a lot of stories every week that explain that one country or another would expel Jews. So yeah, there's a lot of controversy going on with protests and all that stuff here in Canada now. Even in Hamilton, the pro-Palestinians. Oh yeah, it's a powder keg.
Yeah, and it's so long-standing. I mean, it goes back hundreds, if not more, hundreds of years. So yeah, I mean, 48 and the establishment of Israel is just one in a long series of events that have caused them to kind of be at each other's throats.
Yeah, yeah. It's sad. The whole world is imploding, it seems now. It's very volatile everywhere. Let's hope. Let's hope it does not escalate any further. But I know the Israelis. They want revenge, and they're going to get it. So they're probably mounting an offense right now. So it's nowhere near over. Anyways, Vern, thanks a lot. You're coming in great from the grassy knoll. Be careful of men carrying briefcase.
Yeah, I definitely will, Chuck. Yeah, I couldn't resist. It is literally this grassy knoll in the middle of the park, and there's a
Over S9 right now, so really good spot, and uh, just that extra 2 feet, giving you standing on the park bench. I wonder how many people are staring at you.
at least two I can see.
Well, wave and smile at him. Anyways, Vern, we'll let you carry on. Thanks so much for checking in. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it. I'll continue my walk, so I will probably be around for the 73 round. And hopefully I'll again be at a higher elevation by then.
Okay, very good. By the way, over here where I am, it's 12.5 degrees out on my front porch. And so it may vary by 1 or 2 degrees. Like you said, it might even be 10 where you are. So very good then. Yeah, higher up, the colder it is, the higher up you are in elevation. So there you go. I'm sure the pilots from World War II will attest to how cold it was in those planes with no heaters. Uh, yeah, inside a metal box. Okay, very good, Vern. So we'll clear with you, VA3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. And let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Please come now. All right, nothing heard. So it is 8:57 p.m. So why don't we go ahead and start our on this day in history? And as a point of fact, we're doing on this day 137 weeks now. So it's on this day 137. We'll start off with today's famous birthdays. And today we have the founder of the YMCA, born on this day in 1821. English philanthropist and founder of the YMCA in the year 1844, by the way, was born in Dulverton, West Somerset, England. So a British man started the YMCA. So he passed away in 1905 also. Next, we've got Henry John Heinz. Now, that name might sound familiar. He was born in 1844 on this day, October 11th. He's a German-American entrepreneur who founded prepared foods company H.J. Heinz Company, 57 varieties. In 1869, by the way, that's when that was founded. And he was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That would account why Heinz had their main headquarters and plant there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I saw a video of that, and they had lavish gyms for the workers. They had it was like a small city in there. It was huge. Anyways, that's the founder of Heinz, H.J. Heinz, born in 1844. Next, we've got Eleanor Roosevelt, born also in 1884 on this day. She's an American diplomat and United Nations Commission on Human Rights activist and First Lady of the United States between 1933 and 1945. Born in New York City, New York. Next, we have on this day in 1905, Fred Trump was born. That is American real estate developer and father of Donald Trump. born in New York City, New York, also. And he died in 1999. By the way, that would have made him 94 years old. Next, another magnate. In 1906, on this day, Charles H. Revson, American cosmetic magnate who went on to create Revlon, was born in Somerville, Massachusetts, and he died in 1974. Next, on this day in 1919, Jean Vanderpil, PYL, was an American voice, radio, and film actress. She was the voice for Wilma on the Flintstones, and she also provided the voices of Pebbles, Rosie the Robot Maid on the animated series The Jetsons. So Jean Vanderpil, she was Wilma and Rosie and Pebbles. Next, we've got Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates, born on this day in 1946, American rocker, soul singer, and songwriter. Born in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. He's like 76 or 77 years old. I didn't realize he was that old. All our people that we use to listen to music now, they're all getting old. Everybody is. Next, we've got the drummer for the Steve Miller Band, born on this day in 1946, Gary Malaber. You'll remember the song Abracadabra, and The Joker, born in Buffalo, New York. Next, we've got on this day in 1950, Andrew Woolfolk. He's an American pop musician with the band Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was the saxophonist with that band. Great band. Back in the day, I used to listen to them. Born in Texas. One of the popular songs was called Shining Star from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Next, we've got Steve Young celebrating his 62nd birthday today. Born in 1961, American NFL quarterback, multiple MVP and Pro Bowl, born in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he's the one who replaced Joe Montana. Next, we've got, on this day in 1962, Joan Cusack celebrating a birthday. She's the sister of John Cusack, the actor. So she was in the movies Working Girl, Saturday Night Live from 85 to 86. She was on Addams Family Values, and she was born in Illinois. Next, we've got Luke Perry, born in 1966 on this day. He's an American actor who played in Beverly Hills 90210 and in Riverdale. Born in Mansfield, Ohio. He died in 2019 of a stroke, I think, or a heart attack. Okay. Also in 1966 on this day, Rikishi is celebrating a birthday, but I think he's passed away. It doesn't say so here, but Rikishi was a Samoan American professional wrestler born in San Francisco, California. You guys remember he used to put his big butt in the opponent's face there when they were in the corner? That was Rikishi. Okay, next we've got another wrestler. 1967 on this day, Taz, also known as Peter Senercia. He's an American pro wrestler and commentator, born in Brooklyn, New York. And lastly, famous people with birthdays on this day. In 1969, we have Prince Constantine of Netherlands, the youngest son of Queen Beatrix and Klaus von Amsberg, born in Utrecht, Netherlands. Did I say that right? Any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now.
VA 3NFG.
VE3LBI.
Okay, I heard two stations there, NFG and LBI. Let's say hello to Steve, Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf. Come on in, Steve.
Good evening, Chuck, and to everybody online and tuned in. No traffic here, Chuck. Just taking it easy on having a cup of coffee here and listening along to the net. That's all I got there, Chuck. Quick in and out. VA3NFG is my call. Name Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. And thanks for doing the net there, Chuck.
Okay, Steve, you're sounding great as always. Your S9 plus over here. Great job there. You sound good tonight, Steve. Anything new and exciting? Any radio parts or any? You've been. I know you sneak in there. You don't say much, but you sneak in there and grab those parts.
Yeah. Nothing really. I haven't really changed much here. I am going to put up an end-fed wire there. I've got to talk to Mac on that. Still have to finalize that for a 49-to-1. And yeah, we'll put a wire on that and see what happens. That's about it there, Chuck. Everything else is the same. Still using the G5 RV, untrimmed or tuned, as we'd say. I just put it up there, and it is what it is. I haven't bothered tuning it. I don't know. The lower SWR, it seems like the more noise you get. So I'm kind of thinking I like it the way it is, with the lower noise floor. And I've got it on the tuner here, so I can easily tune if I need to. That's it there, Chuck. Send it right back to you, VA3NFG.
Yeah, I know what you mean there, but before I respond, is there anyone else in there with a comment or a check-in? Please come now. Well, if you were trying to key up over Steve and me, good luck. Anyways, Steve, it's funny you mentioned that. My pulley rope for my G5 RV broke this spring, as you may remember, and I had to get that put back up. But in the meantime, I had a G5 RV Junior, which is good to 40 meters, and I put that up as a flat top at roughly 15 feet off the ground, completely flat top, both sides there. And it's resonant on 20. It does really well. And you're right. It's noisier. You got to be like away from the city to get away from the noise. When I put the full size G5 RV back up, that is a inverted V, not a flat top. But the 20 meter one works great. I think it's only 15 feet in the air, and it works fine. I mean, as long as you don't go beyond 40 meters, right? And so it's another nice little option that doesn't take up a lot of room. It's half the size of. It's only 52 feet at total length.
Yeah, Roger. Yep. Well, I'm thinking I'll use this on my lunch hour at work. I'll put the 857 in the car, and then at work, so I can park in the back row there of the parking lot and pop my trunk and just run a wire out along the bush there, and then I can do some POTA on my lunch hour at work. So that'll work out great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Very good, very good. Yeah, well, I'm thrilled I finally hit 500 parks and didn't get the award until the following day, though, but um, I seem to have taken a couple of days off since since I've gotten that, finally gotten that amount. So, but we'll get back at it there in no time. Anything else there, Steve, before we go and say hello to Larry?
No, that's all, Chuck. That's it for now. Yeah, I'll be around somewhere here on the radio for the next couple hours yet. Went to bed at 9 o'clock last night. Up at 5:30, but still I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night, so I think I'll be up for a little bit yet. Yep, okay, let's move it along there, and we'll pass the hot potato over to Larry. Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India, VA 3NFG.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Come on in, Larry.
Well, good evening, all. I just come off the YouTube. Live YouTube tonight was kind of interesting. CW operator, young girl. She's seeing impaired, and actually her call sign is November 4 Juliet Echo Hotel. She was talking about her CW and how she learned it and actually became a teacher while she was also a student. Anyways, what was amazing was the average person sends anywhere from 15 to 20 words a minute and can also comprehend that and translate it. She sends from between 75 and 80 words a minute. Yes, 75 and 80 words a minute, and also can receive that and comprehend it.
Yep. Sorry about that. And 75, eh? Wow. That is amazing. Did you say she was young?
Yeah, she started when she was 18. Like I said, she's visually impaired, and her dad got her into it. But it's wild. I was like, must be a blur. But if she has anybody that sends to her basically under 20 words a minute, she has a hard time comprehending it because it's so slow. She can't pick it up that well. But anyways, it was a really good, interesting. It was an hour long. It always starts at 8 and runs till 9 on one of the channels there. But it was good. So photo-wise, yep, bands have been kind of really up and down and a little crazy. Yesterday, Netherlands on 10 meters, POTA. Work France today on 17 for POTA, and England on 10 meters for POTA today. So it's been kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, very good. I know I got a couple of contacts there on 10 and 15 over the weekends. I forget now, a couple of European countries. I know I got Italy and a couple other ones there. Can't remember right now. But yeah, I always like working actually, I use my vertical antenna for that, the Solarcon A99 vertical, and it's only 15 feet at the base off the ground, and I can talk around the world with that when the conditions are good and open, as you say there. So yeah, I really enjoy working the vertical on those bands.
Yeah, anyways, it was interesting. Like I said, Netherlands was a new one for me. I hadn't worked that part of the country at all. Again, it was a POTA park, so it was kind of interesting to pick it up and confirmed, which was the best part for POTA.
Oh.
So, other than that, what else has been going on? I guess not too much. Just day by day, and get the opportunity to get in and play a little radio. A little cooler outside now, so spend a little more time with the radio.
Yeah, well, congratulations on getting those countries for parks. I only have like 6, I think, in total so far. But as you say, as the fall is upon us, conditions are going to change in those areas, and we'll be able to make some more unique contacts other than North America. So that's good. Right on. Can't wait to get a couple under my belt there. A couple more. Okay, Larry. Well, thank you very much for checking in. Much appreciated, sir. And do you have anything else for us before we carry on?
Nope, that's it. I'll listen along till the end. The E3LBI.
Okay, very good. Anyone else out there wishing to join us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG? This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. Okay, so we just finished famous birthdays on this day. Now let's go to who died today in history. First person I have is Meriwether Lewis. On this day in who died? Sorry, he died in 1809. Meriwether Lewis, and he was born in 1774. He wasn't very old, maybe 35 years old. He is an American explorer, soldier, and public administrator who helped lead the Lewis and Clark expedition. And he dies of gunshot wounds at 35 years of age under mysterious circumstances that could have been murder or suicide in Tennessee at an inn called Grinder's Stand. So something happened at this inn. Pretty rough part of town, I guess. Okay, next we've got Johann Conrad Amann. In 1811, he passed away, and he's a Swiss physician, naturalist, and instructor of nonverbal deaf persons. He helped deaf people that could not speak. He taught them how to speak, basically by reading his lips. He dies at the age of 86 back in 1811. Let's go into the 20th century now. And 1961 on this day, Leonard Marx, also known as Chico Marx, passed away on this day, 1961. Of course, he was one of the famous Marx brothers, and he was 74 years old. All right, I think I said a story about this next gentleman last week, but he's back up in the news again this week. He passed away on this day in 1971. Chesty Puller. He was a U.S. Marine Corps Lieutenant General and the most decorated Marine in history. Dies at the age of 73. This is on this day in 1971. Next, we've got on this day in 1991, Red Fox passed away. He's an American comedian and actor. His real name is John Sanford. Remember that show, Sanford and Son? So Red Fox, his real name, Red Fox, dies of a heart attack at the age of 68. So he finally got the big one and got to go meet Elizabeth. Because every week he used to fake a heart attack on his show. Remember that? Okay, next we've got Werner von Trapp passing away on this day in 2007. He is an Austrian singer with the Trapp Family Singers. He dies at the age of 91. He is the subject of the movie The Sound of Music, because all the children and everybody sang. Okay. Next, we've got Angela Lansbury passing away on this day last year in 2022. She is an Irish, British, American, Golden Globe, and multiple Tony Award-winning stage and screen actress. Gaslight, The Manchurian Candidate, Mame, Murder, She Wrote, Beauty and the Beast. She dies at the age of 96. And so that's it for famous people who passed away on this day. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins? Please come now. VA3CJZ. All right, so let's carry on and go with historical events that occurred on this day in history. First, we'll go all the way back to the year 1138. There's a huge earthquake in Aleppo, Syria, killing an estimated 230,000 people. Okay, next we have Defender of the Faith. That is the title that Pope Leo X gives to King Henry VIII of England, Defender of the Faith. That's back in the year 1521 on this day. Next, we have a story about Ben Franklin on his return to America. In 1726, on this day, Benjamin Franklin returns to Philadelphia from England. Ben finally left London on July 22nd, 1726, with a merchant from Philadelphia. Now, at the time, he was only 18 years old. Mr. Thomas Denham was the merchant and shopkeeper for whom Ben worked for when they returned to Philly. They arrived back in Philadelphia October 11, 1726. So Ben started off traveling to London. Actually, he went 3 times there. So now we have slavery abolished in the state of Maryland in 1864 on this day. And then in 1873, we have the Toronto Argonaut Football Club's first game, losing to the University of Toronto. 1873. Okay, now we go to 1883 on this day. The United States and Canadian railroads agree to use a 5 time zone system for North America based on the Allegheny Observatory in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is back in 1883. Now we have the year 1887. A gentleman by the name of A. Miles, M-I-L-E-S, patents the elevator. I don't know if he built it, but I know the Otis, Mr. Otis is one of the first people to have a successful elevator company going way back. But this gentleman patented the elevator. Then we have 1890. On this day, the first 100-yard dash under 10 seconds is run by John Owen in 9.8 seconds at Anacostan Island, Washington, D.C. I think Carl Lewis ran that speed as well, 9.8. This is going back to the year 1890. All right, next we go to the year 1899 on this day. South African Boers, B-O-E-R-S, declare war on Great Britain. The Afrikanders, which are basically Dutch, or Boers, are an ethnic population that live in South Africa and Namibia. They are descendants of the Dutch, who colonized the region in the 17th century. So South Africa was pretty much all whites from Holland. So there you go. So now we go to 1906 on this day. San Francisco Board of Education orders segregation in separate schools of Japanese, Chinese, and Korean children, sparking diplomatic crises. Now in 1906, San Francisco was a very San Francisco was one of the first big cities in California because of the gold rush. San Francisco just appeared out of nowhere, basically. And because it's the first place that the Asian people land, they go to San Francisco. So the Japanese, the Chinese, who all helped build the railroads, and the Korean uh, were segregated. So there you go, 1906. Next, we have a baseball record in 1906 as well. On this day, White Sox Ed Walsh strikes out then a record 12 people in a World Series game. So that was a first back then. Sticking with Major League Baseball, we go to 1911 on this day. Ty Cobb with the American League and Frank Schulte with the National League are named inaugural Major League Baseball MVPs. And the prize for that is a car. So they each got a new car. I don't think they shared one. Okay, let's jump to 1922. On this day, we have the first woman FBI special investigator by the name of Alaska Davidson. Now, back before it was called the FBI, it was called the Bureau of Investigation. And that's when she got hired to work for her. At first, when I read that story, I thought they had shipped her off to Alaska, but her name is Alaska. So there you go. All right, let's stick to baseball again, or go back to baseball. Lou Gehrig with the American League MVP. In 1927, on this day, New York Yankees first baseman Lou Gehrig is named American League MVP despite hitting Major League Baseball record 60 home run. Babe Ruth, as a former winner, is not eligible. So because he won it before, he wasn't able to win it again, yet he had the stats that beat out Lou Gehrig, I'm guessing. Interesting. Back in 1927. Next, we have J.C. Penney expands nationwide in 1929. J.C. Penney opens store number 1252 in Milford, Delaware, making it a nationwide company with stores in all 48 United States on the continental U.S. There you go. So Alaska and Hawaii were not part of that. So we all have those game shows on TV. But before TV, we had radio. And in 1936, on this day, Professor Quiz was the first radio quiz show. And it premieres on this day, October 11th, 1936. Next, we've got Einstein's letter. In 1939, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and advisor Alexander Sachs meet to discuss Albert Einstein's letter warning of the possibilities of an atomic bomb. This is in 1939. They didn't yet have the bomb, but they will. Next, we've got Chinese Civil War. In 1945, a Chinese Civil War begins between, so we're talking October 11th. See, the Japanese had just surrendered. And now China begins a civil war between Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong, who was a communist. So there you have it. That's all the info I have on that. And then we jump to 1962 on this day. It was the first appearance of one of the Gabor sisters on the Merv Griffin show. Rumor had it, Merv Griffin and one of the Gabor sisters were together, let's just say. Who remembers the Merv Griffin show? I vaguely do, but I do. Next, we've got the World Series. On this day in 1971, it is World Series time right now, so a few baseball stories here. 1971, Baltimore, 3B. Brooks Robinson So I guess 3B is league. Sets baseball World Series record. Reaches base 5 straight times in Orioles' 11-3 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates in Game 2 at Memorial Stadium. So he reached first base 5 times in a row, 5 times at bat. Okay, let's go to hockey now. On this day in 1972, the World Hockey Association, WHA, officially debuts as the Alberta Oilers defeat the Ottawa Nationals 7-4 at the Ottawa Civic Center. I know that Civic Center very well. Okay, next we've got Saturday Night Live. On this day, 1975, Saturday Night Live, created by Lorne Michaels, premieres on NBC with George Carlin as the host of the first SNL. You realize that's 52 years ago, folks. If you've been watching SNL since 1975, you've been watching it for what? Almost 50 years. 48, that would be. Yeah. Next, we have a historic invention. On this day in 1977, American inventor Gordon Gould, Gould, issued his first U.S. patent for an optically pumped laser amplifier, 20 years after first claiming to have invented the laser. Next, we've got 1980. Cosmonauts Popov and Ryumin set space endurance record of 184 days. Back in 1980, yeah, that was a world record for being in space. Next, we've got music history. In 1981, on this day, then unknown musician Prince, who went by the name Prince Rogers Nelson, I do believe that's his real full name, opens for the Rolling Stones at the Los Angeles Coliseum. That's only back in 1981. Sticking with music, this is for you country lovers, country music. The Country Music Association Awards in 1982 was the 16th Country Music Association Awards, and it goes to Willie Nelson and Ricky Skaggs. And also today in 1982, English ship Mary Rose, which sank during an engagement with France in 1545, is raised at Portsmouth, England. Wow, that's 400 years, 450 years. I wonder what they found on that thing. All right, also in 1982, there's the riot in Amsterdam, Netherlands. In 1982, rioters firebombed and vandalized scores of banks and police stations in 3 cities. And the second day of disturbances sparked by squatter evictions. So squatters were being evicted and they started burning down the city of Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, rioters operating in groups of 5 struck simultaneously at 16 banks, 4 police stations, 2 council offices, shops, and houses in the early morning. Wow. Hey, we want to live here for free. Okay. Let's go to 1983 now. Today, in 1983, last hand-cranked telephones in the United States went out of service as 440 telephone customers in Bryant Pond, Maine, were switched over to direct dial. That'd be cool. I've seen those old crank phones in a lot of, like with the Western Heritage Village there, they have them in there. Yeah, Westfield. That's it. All right, next we've got 1984. On this day is the first spacewalk by a United States woman, and her name is Dr. Catherine D. Sullivan. First spacewalk by a woman, 1984. Then in 1985, President Reagan bans the import of South African Krugerrands to the USA because of apartheid. The Krugerrand was first minted in 1967, a co-production of the South African Mint and the Rand Refinery, a precious metals refining company, and the coin's name is derived from the name Paul Kruger and the South African Rand. So Kruger Rand, the basic unit of currency in South Africa. So here we are now in 1990. Libya's Muammar Gaddafi says Israel must be eliminated. Okay. Then we have 1991 today in history. Law professor Anita Hill testifies that Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court judge, sexually harassed her. This is back in 1991. Also in 19, I should have kept this one for last, but here it goes. 1991 also, televangelist Jimmy Swaggart is seen soliciting a prostitute. Oh, God. And then in 1995, today in history, John Bobbitt has plastic surgery to increase his penis 3 inches. Now remember, he had that lobbed off by his wife, John Bobbitt. Look it up. All right, next we've got Dennis Rodman On this day in 1997, Dennis Rodman returns from the second longest NBA suspension, and that was 11 games. I wonder what he did. All right, now we've got the year 2000. On this day, the 100th space shuttle mission, the STS-92, is flown. In 2001, today in history, the Polaroid Corporation files for federal bankruptcy protection. Who remembers their first Polaroid camera? I had one. Next, we've got Nobel Peace Prize. In 2002, Nobel Peace Prize is awarded to former U.S. President Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter has been actively helping negotiate very delicate situations around the world over the years, and so he was recognized for that quality. And next we go to 2016. South Korean firm Samsung announces it will permanently stop production of Note 7 phones after complaints devices caught fire. Well, it's a good thing Samsung persevered, as they are one of the leading, still leading phone makers in the world. So let's go to 2018 now. Today, in 2018, Russian Soyuz spacecraft makes emergency landing when rocket fails 2 minutes after liftoff, with American astronaut and Russian cosmonaut aboard. That would have been scary. Still with 2018 today, world's new longest flight flies from Singapore to Newark Airport, New Jersey. Takes 17 hours and 52 minutes. This is back in 2018. Okay, next let's go to the year 2020. On this day, India records more than 7 million cases of COVID. Ow. And last on my list here, we have the 2020 NBA Finals. The LA Lakers beat Miami Heat in Game 6 to win a record equaling 17th title. MVP, of course, was LeBron James, first to win the award with 3 different teams. So LeBron James won that award with 3 different teams. And the other team that has 17 NBA final trophies are the Boston Celtics with 17. And of course, the LA Lakers also tied. And that's it for On This Day in History. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and repeating it back to you. All the juicy ones, of course, that is. There is a lot of boring stuff, but I try and pick out the most interesting. So thank you all for listening. Are there any questions, comments, or check-ins? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3XLJ.
VA3COF.
Okay, I heard 2 stations there, XLJ and COF. Let's go and say hello to VA3XLJ, Vanya.
Hello, Chuck and everybody. So I'm gonna just give you a quick check-in, and I'm gonna go back to the listening. My battery is halfway done on handheld, and I only have a 5 watts, so I just passed the split, so my signal is gonna be not good, most likely from this point on. So I'm gonna guys give you a check-in at 7.3, and maybe I'll figure out something to attend the net a little bit earlier next week. Anyway, that will be all for me, Chuck. How's that sound?
Okay, Vanya. Yep, you'll get more life out of your handheld if you just listened as opposed to transmitting. So we'll say thank you very much for checking in, and you have a good shift, and I hope everything is well, and you all had a good Thanksgiving weekend. And thanks again, Vanya.
Chuck, you are welcome. Good day in 7.3.
Okay, 7-3. Vanya's on his portable, on his way into work. And so for those of you who cannot hear portable stations, just go to my YouTube, put in VA3CJZ, and you can hear the stream and watch it right there. Move the slider back and forth to whatever time you like, or just listen along to us live. And so with that, we'll say goodnight to VA3XLJ and go down to VA3 Charlie Oscar Foxtrot. Damien, come on in, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. Thanks for doing the net. I was just on my way home. My wife and daughter at the Clifford Brewery and then the Argyle, and just getting home and switched the portable on and heard you on the net. So thanks for doing the net, and have a good night. Over.
Oh, very good then, Damien. Well, thank you for checking in with us. I know last week we were speaking about fall colors, and I did notice on the evening news on CHCH, they did show a beautiful picture from Ancaster showing lots of red leaves. So it's finally going to be hitting our area. I would say by the end of the week, we'll have a lot of the leaves, if not all of them, changing color. And then, of course, it usually gets gusty and windy to help blow those leaves off the trees. And so it won't be long now. So anyways, thank you for checking in there, Damien. Much appreciated, sir. I trust you had a good Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, I had the turkey Saturday, which meant leftovers Sunday and Monday. Yeah, and I read an article on the fall colours this year that with the amount of smoke around that it had tricked the trees into changing a little earlier. Over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's possible. You know, I never thought of that because, yeah, the trees have a chemical reaction there, and also start slowing things down so they can sleep through the winter. So well, that's interesting. I never thought of that.
Okay, Chuck, I'm just going to head inside now, so I wish you all the best, and 73, I'll talk to you later. Over.
Okay, Damien, thanks a bunch. Currently, it's 11.7 degrees outside my station here outside, I mean. And so it is getting chilly. They're talking about 5 or 6 overnight. So I'm sure you're going to have the windows open. You better have some blankets on. Thank you very much, Damien. Take care, my friend. Until next time. So, do we have anyone else out there now that would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ, and my name is Chuck, and I'm here by the Central Mall in East Hamilton. Alexa, thank you. Okay, so nothing heard. I guess we'll start the 7-3 round now and go to the top of the list and start with VA3 Oscar Yankee Lima. Debbie, are you there? Okay, it must be that time. Let's go to VA3 India Mike Whiskey.
Well, this is my chance to say something eloquent, but I won't try to make anything up. As usual, Chuck, it's a great way to spend the middle of the week. Certainly appreciate the information that you share with us on this day. It's intriguing. Makes the mind wander. Anyways, thank you for doing what you're doing, and appreciate you maintaining the heritage. 7-3s to you and all VA3 IMW.
Okay, that was a nice short one there, Mac. I gave you a whole 15 minutes to go, but all right. Very good then, Mac. We appreciate it. Thank you for checking in as always. And so let's try Debbie again, VA3OYL. Debbie, are you there?
Yes, good net and very informative. And thanks for doing what you do, Chuck. And I'll say 7-3 to all. Victor Alpha 3 Oscar Yankee Lima.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, Deb. And don't forget, there's the partial solar eclipse coming up. When is it? On the 14th. So that's Saturday. We also have Friday the 13th, this Friday. And the full solar eclipse will be happening on my daughter's birthday in 2024. And that will be, I believe, April 28th. So this is just a warm up, a test, I guess. So next Saturday around 11:30 till 11:30 a.m. till 1 in the afternoon, you may want to listen to your radio and see if you can, notice any changes in the bands. Okay, Deb, thank you so much. Take care, and we'll clear with VA3OYL. Let's see if Jason has finished his phone call. VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie.
Yes, Chuck finished the phone call. I've been listening along for most of it, other than when I was obviously on the phone call with the family. Got some stuff going on there, and, as everybody says, family comes first. Great net tonight. Always interesting information, as always. Good job, and thanks for doing it. And in case anybody cares, Goldie Scully tied it up with a minute to go in the third. Shh, I didn't tell you that.
All right. Spoiler alert. Anybody recording this game, there you have it. All right. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for that. Hope everything is well with the family, sir. Thank you for checking in, and we'll speak to you soon, I am sure. Let's see if Tom has made it back for 7-3 round, VE3MQ. Okay, next I would like to thank our YouTube check-ins. I'd like to add Bill, who's been with us for some time now, VE3IUK. Good evening, Bill. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube and putting the comments in as you do with everything that's interesting that you find there. Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas were brothers. Maybe. There were game shows that started out on radio and then moved to TV, such as You Bet Your Life and Truth or Consequences. Yeah, that's where Bob Barker started out, on Truth or Consequences, back when he had brown hair. Very good, Bill. Thank you so much for joining us, as well as everyone else. That would be Richard, North End Richard, VA3VJC. Take care, my friend. We'll talk to you again soon, I hope. Michael in Arkansas, Kilo India 5, Sierra Papa Alpha. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. Hope all is well with you. And also Wayne B, VA3 Fox Mike Bravo. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's continue on down the list and see who else is still with us for our 7-3 round. Let's see if Tomas is still there. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform.
Victor Echo 3 Charlie Echo uniform. Ah, surprise, I'm still here. Very good net, Chuck. Very informative. What would we do without you? My golly, lots of history, lots of things to remember. Especially the one with Sanford and Son. Wow, that's amazing. I used to watch that show all the time when I was a kid. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm enjoying my holiday here and enjoying my hobbies. And once this week is over, then it's back to the work again. And yeah, so yeah, not much else is new at this end, and we'll sit there and we're just doing some computer work and downloading some pictures from my phone onto my computer. My phone is full. But yeah, other than that, I'll say 73 to you, Chuck, and everybody else on the net there, and you have yourself a good evening.
All right, very good, Thomas. Well, thanks for sticking around and enjoying our weekly show here on the AREG. Thank you so much for your check-in. I do appreciate it, sir. You have a great rest of the week. We'll catch you down the log, my friend. So we'll clear with VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. Let's give Chris a shout and see if he might be listening for a 7-3 round. Victor Echo 3 Romeo Whiskey Juliet. All right, let's go to VE3 Kilowatt Papa.
I am still here. Been listening along. Great net tonight, and we'll say 7-3. So.
All right, Kevin. Thank you so much, sir, for your check-in. You take care. I hope you're feeling better and better as each day goes on. And so let's see if Vern is still standing on the park bench. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Well, he did say he was going to be around for the 7-3 round, so we'll wait and see if we can pick up Vern after a couple more people there. Let's try VA3 NFG.
Yeah, good net there, Chuck. Yep, that's all I got. Great net there, Chuck. We'll look forward to next Wednesday. Back to you, VA3 Energy.
All right, Steve, out on the lookout of the Hamilton escarpment. Very good, Steve. Thanks for sticking around. Much appreciated. At least for being here, pretty regular whenever you can. So I do appreciate it. So let's go to VE3 Lima Bravo India. Larry, last round.
Yep, thanks, Chuck. Pardon me. Thanks for doing it. 7-3, everybody, and I'll listen along to the, I guess, for the rest of the 7-3s. I'm not sure how many check-ins you had tonight, but it sounds like you have a pretty good group. VE3, I'll be out.
Yeah. If I add, I forgot to add Bill. VE3 IUK. There you go. You're in the log now, Bill. And so we got a couple more. We let's see if Vanya's got a little bit of juice for a 7-3 round. VA3 X-Ray Lima Juliet. All right. Well, we just spoke to Damien, so I don't think he has anything further to say. But thank you so much, Damien, for checking in. I do appreciate it, sir. And if you have HF, keep an eye open for 10 and 15 and 17 meters opening up at this time of year. And so let's do one more call out and see if anyone else is out there would like to be last minute check ins for this week, this weekly amateur radio exchange group, AREG Net, on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. here on 146 430. Any last minute check ins, please come now. All right. So with the YouTube check-ins and the radio check-ins, we have 16 altogether tonight. Our average is usually around 15, so uh, we're doing good. Doing good. A few people did not make it in, but that's okay. Next week. So until then, I'd like to say 7-3 all. Have a great rest of the week. Bundle up. It's chilly out there in the mornings. Afternoon, if the sun is out, it's not so bad, but it is breezy. So keep that in mind. And like I mentioned, we have all these contests coming up. We have the partial solar eclipse at 11:30 in the morning on Saturday until around 1 o'clock. So 12 noon might be the most we can get out of it here at our location. So until then, take care. And 7-3 to all. And I shall return the frequency back to regular quiet operation. This is VA3CJZ with the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Good night, all.
VA3IMW, V3TKT.